Hi, my name is James Wilson. I'm a volunteer and a leader right here at Gateway Pflugerville. Welcome to day 3 of Pray First. Now, in the previous 2 days, we've discussed God as Father and the holiness of His name. Today, we'll pick up with His kingdom come, His will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Now, Scripture tells us that God is love. It also tells us that we are God's children and He loves us dearly. And as God's children, we should seek God's kingdom daily, and we should also strive to be representatives of His kingdom and bring heaven to earth. One way we can do this is through prayer. For example, we can pray for God to bring justice and equity in our world and communities. We can also pray for others. We can pray for God to guide our leaders, and we can pray for God to protect those that are poor and marginalized. See, as a middle child, this reminds me of a story because I inherited the job of door answerer. So someone would knock on the door. From another room, I would hear, "Who's at the door?" To which I would inevitably respond, "I don't know." To which they would respond, "Well, are you going to open it?" See, friends, prayer is how we open the door for our Holy Father to enter into this world by entering into our hearts. As His children, we are instruments of His kingdom and will, and we go forth as an example of what it looks like to live out His kingdom come and His will be done. We become that example through prayer. Now, see, we can pray alone, we can pray with friends, we can pray with family, we can pray with any community that we're a part of, but we get to be the shining example of a kingdom-centered life, and we get to live that out right here, day by day. When I think of this, when I think of following God, it reminds me of Proverbs 3:5-6, which says, "Do not lean on your own understanding, but in all your will and your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." Now, there are a few practical ways we can bring kingdom to earth. By spending time in prayer and focusing on what God is focused on and what His priorities are for us and those around us, we get to know Him, and we get to know that we are loved by Him. From the overflow of this love, we begin to draw near those who are far from Him or don't know Him. We get to care for the poor and marginalized and bring a kingdom sense of unity, justice, and equity. Prayer will also bring wisdom and guidance for not only His purpose in our lives, but also bringing wisdom and guidance for those in every context of authority, whether it's parental, spiritual, governmental, vocational, in all aspects of authority. See, friends, His kingdom and will coming to earth is the best thing that can happen for any of us. This begins with, is sustained, and it ends with prayer. So how can you pray for God's kingdom to come and His will be done on earth as it is in heaven? Maybe it's by praying for your friends and family. Maybe it's praying God's presence and love to impact your workplace. Maybe it's praying for your leaders and those that are suffering. Today, let's spend a few minutes praying for these things.